Good evening, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View with myself, Baz, and yes, let's get it out of the road. Congratulations to Aberdeen for sitting with 5 at the back, like I said they would, and playing the type of football that I knew they would. Fair play to them. Brendan Rodgers and Callum McGregor. This is the guy that I feel for. Callum McGregor broke down after the game today and apologised to the manager. I don't think Callum needs to apologise to the manager for missing the penalty. I think Yang needs to apologise for ever wearing a Celtic strip. I think Greg Taylor needs to apologise for ever wearing a Celtic strip. I think Jeffrey Sloop should apologise for even turning up at Celtic whatsoever. And I think Dyson Maida's got his eyes on somewhere else because he didn't turn up today at all. And that's just to name a few. The only ones that were up for the battle was Cameron Carter-Vickers, who was right up for the fight. And he was wanting a fight. But when it comes down to it, we just weren't good enough today. So fair play to Aberdeen for winning the Scottish Cup 2025. Kuhn was terrible. There was so many players. When I saw the team today, and I did say, I got told before the game, be positive. No, which part of that fucking bench was terrible was going to be positive? I told you the 3 substitutions that would be made before in the second half, and I was right. James Forrest, Yang, and Luke McCowan. That was our bench. The board fucked us over at Christmas by selling Kyogo Furiashi under our feet and not replacing him. Don't give me this piss that Dyson Maida's a fucking striker. We've got Adam Ida. We've got young Johnny Kenny. We didn't replace a prolific striker. Okay, I have to stop swearing. That's the meltdown out of the way. But seriously, where do you start? When you look at that bench today, chill out. How can you blame Brendan Rodgers? How can you blame Brendan Rodgers for that bench? How can you blame Brendan Rodgers for selling Kyogo Furiashi? How can you blame Brendan Rodgers for the players not turning up? He had one hand tied behind his back today, Brendan. He went into the biggest game of our season with one hand tied behind his back. Selling Kyogo Furiashi was friggin' criminal. Dyson Maida, he looked as if he's fucking sayonara. He's thinking, I'm not getting injured because I've got a move to make this summer. Whether you like it or not, Celtic fans, that's how Dyson... Greg Taylor, don't even get me started about Greg Taylor. That little prick should never have been on the pitch today. What was he doing? He's never stood in that left-back area so much the entire season as what he did today. And what was he waiting on? For a full season, you've seen Greg Taylor fire into the middle of the pitch and cause mayhem. And then in the second half, Brendan Rodgers says, let's put Greg Taylor in the middle of the park. Well, he wasn't fucking there the whole game, was he? It's not Brendan's fault. It's the players' fault. Brendan apologised after the game. I mean, for today, lost nothing to do with Kyogo, Baz. And no, it's not nothing to do with Kyogo. It's everything to do with the mismanagement of the squad. Putting out 5 players on loan. You're telling me that Lewis Palmer is worse than Yang? Not a chance. Yang should never wear a Celtic strip again. Whoever thinks Yang's a player is absolutely fucking... I have no idea what any of you see in Yang, because I cannot see... Yang is no... Ange Postecoglou left us with some amount of shit players. For all your fucking love for Ange Postecoglou yesterday, that was the majority of his team and they were shit today. Taylor was the best player on the pitch. Come on. No, he wasn't. He had fucking 2 shots. Jeffrey Sloop come on and had a better shot than Taylor. Thank fuck I was at work. Sounds like it was woeful. It was awful. It was woeful. Hail here from Houston, Texas, the unrepentant Fenian division of Texas, USA. The wheels aren't coming off. Rocco 1973, the wheels aren't coming off. It's a wake-up call. And what generally happens when Celtic have a wake-up call? Yeah, I congratulated Ian Aberdeen on Twitter already. You thought Greg Taylor was great today? God. He sat out in that wing and done fuck all. Aberdeen got luck with the penalties. It shouldn't have come down to penalties. We had 90% possession. We had 20 odd shots on goals. It was terrible by Celtic. Terrible. Absolutely woeful. Absolutely woeful. I will still be drinking champagne, says Chris Fraser. Yang is pure pish, says Jamesy Boy. Yep. Won't be watching the highlights. Nope. Baz, can you bear to watch it again? You'll see who the shite players were. I seen it, and I seen who the shite players were. The whole fucking team was. And what's Casper friggin' Schmeichel? I said Sinisalo should have started, but I knew Brendan would bring in Casper, and I think that. Yeah, double winners gutted beyond belief. Come on, the double winners. That mob are a joke. Deborah, this is the level. This is the level that we've got to at Celtic. Kasper Schmeichel cost us today. I don't think that Sinisalo would have made that mistake that Kasper did. And, you know, I'm devastated for Kasper because, you know, he'd love to have been a treble winner. But Sinisalo, I said before the game, go and look back at the games where Sinisalo played. His movement out from the back is better. His distribution is better. If he sees that players are coming down on our defence, rather than put out the short ball, when it comes to corners, he can get the ball out quicker. We slowed the game down today. Why we allowed the referee to fucking pull the game back 10 fucking paces a move to allow Aberdeen getting up the pitch was absolutely unbelievable. But the architects of our demise is playing the same with no adaptability. Jim, I listened to Brendan Rodgers' interview on Celtic TV, and Brendan says, look, we've played the same system all season and we've managed to break down teams. In the first 15 minutes of the game, when you've got Liam Scales taking 3 and 4 passes, you knew straight away, fucking it's going to be a laborious day. There was no one-touch pass. Let's get the ball moving faster. Brendan Rodgers said it. He said we didn't move the ball about fast enough. We created our own demise. We didn't turn up. You know, we didn't play the way that we've played all season. Why? Because there's too many players in this Celtic team that know that they're going to be off this summer. Kasper Costa's, the young lad, is far more better at his distribution. Yes, Stephen, he is that. Scales is crap. Yes, he is, Deborah. He's fucking crap. Scales is a bomb scare. And you can say what you like about him, but he's not. If we're having to go back, see, I knew this would happen. It's like I hate Rodgers' football. He doesn't change. He cannot change it. I don't think it's Brendan's football. I think it's the players' inability to act on what they're told. Brendan Rodgers was screaming at Yang to get on the touchline. And Yang's like, hey. And then fucking Yang gets it. Come on, a good, damn good winger puts the ball in and creates chances. What does Yang do? He gets by and he fucking skies it. Yang is not Celtic class. We're going into the Champions League qualifier. We're going into the Champions League. Where was Rocky? The guy was the guy's not rated at Celtic, Deborah. Stephen Kelly, we need a clear out. We do, and I really feel for Kalmack tonight because he'll always be known as the captain that missed the penalty in the shootout, and you know it takes a lot of balls to take the first penalty. And the fact that he broke down on the pitch and apologised to Brendan. Christopher, sorry Baz, you're on a different planet. I think Rodgers is better than Ange. Yang is better than Kuhn. Really? Yang's better than Kuhn? God, that's a statement, Christopher. Yang's better than Kuhn. None of the two of them are Celtic standards, mate. Kuhn's not great, but Yang's worse. Come on. Yang couldn't fucking... Jesus, God, man. It's all about opinions, and it is called the One Celtic Fans View. This is my view, and this is your view. That's what makes the channel so great. Get Lennon and Miller as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Callum needs to feel that loss today. He's not used to it. I think that there's so many players. There's so many players that should not be at the level that they're at with Celtic. We got lucky in the Champions League. We got so close. We can give them all praise, but we've known all season, ever since we got this close to taking the Germans to extra time, it's been a shit half of the season. Come on. You can't deny it. We've laboured in a lot of games. We've lost more points the second half of the season than we did the first half. There's players at this team that just should not be there. Should not be there. Should not be there at all. James Forrest getting injured, game changer. Absolutely game changer. But having to rely on James Forrest in 2025 is a mismanagement of the club. And I tell you one thing, Paul Tisdale, the football doctor, is going to have to earn his money this summer, because if we do not go out and bring in a level of football player that deserves to play for this club, not prospects that we can make better and sell on. We've been shown exactly what the board have fucked about with. Allowing 5 players to go out on loan. Lewis Palmer would have made a difference today. He's way better than Yang. I'm going to say it. Lewis Palmer's better than Yang. His goal scoring exploit and his stats prove it over the course of the season. Complacency for the players. I don't think it was complacency. I think that it was too many players known that they thought they could just turn up the day and you know, they'll sit back. Fucking, we won't even try hard. Brendan Rodgers, I don't think I've ever seen him as disappointed ever after a game. I think that Brendan Rodgers knows. Brendan Rodgers is not the type of manager to throw the players under the bus. And at this point of the season, the final game of the season, he knows that everyone's going to go away now, and that'll be it. There's going to be a lot of players that will not see Brendan Rodgers again. There will be players that were on that field today that just didn't give 110%. There's not one player. I would say Calmac and Cameron Carter-Vickers were our best players today, and that says something. I'm better than Yang, and I'm 56, says Jamesy boy. Most of them might get attention. Lanky says this season was all about getting the 55th title. We're all excited for this. Other games are treble on the cards. This was one of them. To everyone, Baz, I think some of these players are sick of winning. No, James Smith, I don't think they're sick of winning. I think that some of these players that have came to Celtic think that this is easy. This is an easy league. They just turn up and they do it. They don't want the hard work. Rio Hatate, for one, turns up 20 games a season. Like, whoa, do you know what I mean? Everyone goes, oh, you can't drop Rio Hatate. Well, fucking, obviously we can't in a game like this, but too many players think it's too easy. Kuhn thinks it's too easy. Dyson Maida, he was walking around Parkhead last week saying that the sayonara. You know, Dyson never even... Where was Dyson Maida today? The Duracell bunny has run out of Duracell today. Somebody took the backpack off him. There was too many players playing the game like an end-of-season game, thinking that they would just turn up and win. I told you before the game, everyone said to me before the game, be positive, you're being too negative. I told you the way Aberdeen would play. Aberdeen would play 5 at the back, they would sit and frustrate the hell out of Celtic. Teams have done it all season. We'll look back over the SPFL season. Teams have done it all season. Sit back, sit with a flat back five. Brendan Rodgers says, yeah, we've managed to bypass it during this season, but there's a lot of games where it's been woeful, and Aberdeen had a game plan, make 3 changes towards the end of the game, try and get an equaliser or try and get a goal, just take it to the extra time, frustrate the hell out of Celtic and get to penalties, because we were shite at penalties. But you can tell that they practiced their penalties a lot. The whole objective for them was to take it to penalties, and fair play to them. Lanky says, Baz said days ago, Dyson checked out last weekend. Yeah, he did. He checked out last weekend, and he just couldn't be bothered today, didn't he? He's like, fuck it, last game of the season, he's off. I didn't stay to watch the players on the pitch. I walked out the pub and discussed and fucked off. Went and got a meal. Went and got some food with the missus. We won the double. History will say it's a very successful season. As should we. You're not allowed to be disappointed at the chance of being world record breakers. 9 trebles. If we're not allowed to be, if we're not allowed to be disappointed, and if we're not allowed to vent our anger at losing that game today, we've fucking turned into the prawn sandwich brigade that has sneaked their way into the likes of Man United, and we've become that type of club. And sorry, I'm not that type of fan. I never have been, and I know if my WhatsApp was going ballistic after the game, with folk coming out of the game fucking raging, absolute raging. Taylor was no use standing watching. Yes, Joseph, exactly, it was. There's not been one game this season that Greg Taylor has stood in the left back position for as long as he did today. Not once. All season he's cut inside, Champions League games cut inside, mixed it up in the middle. Today, standing on the left back. Yeah, just take my time today. Don't want to get injured. Got a big move this summer. Chris McKinley says, shocking today, mate. Totally gutted. We had a record in our hands again, and I hope that Celtic went straight back home to Celtic Park and started demolishing that stand. Putting up a stand and TV screens outside Celtic Park before was just, it was a kiss of death. Absolute kiss of death. Flying column. Dresses the double. It's a treble lost. Yeah. Dress it up as a double all you want. It's a treble lost. You're never going to get a better chance. With the form that we've been in, with the form that we've found since Brendan's been around, we just lost out on a treble. Sell that useless sack of shit up front. Which one? AJ was pish poor today. Yep. He should. Chilpel, I have told you there's only 2 players that got pass marks for me. That was Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnston and not Alistair Johnston, Calmack. That's the only 2 players that got pass marks for me today. The rest of them were woeful. The whole team was woeful. Adam Ida, woeful. Dyson Maida, he looked as if he'd already checked his tickets, his flight tickets in. He's put his cases on the flight and he's like, just wait till the game's finished and I'll catch the flight. Lorna Gallagher's in the house. My head, the way of a lot of the fans turning against the players, the manager, after winning a double season. I'm not turning against the manager. I think that if anything, I'm just venting my anger on the way that the team performed today, and it was no surprise to me. It was no surprise whatsoever. No surprise whatsoever to me that the team could not break down that Aberdeen team. Lorna, so there. And David and Ollie's had their comments deleted. I wonder what they said. Chris says, same team as last week. Performance too slow, passing the ball around. Chris, the performance last week was terrible. The reserves that we played up at Aberdeen was better. But half them are injured. Maida will disappear in Japan Airlines flight. Yeah, he'll disappear down to England. Was that your missus going Tonto on the wall? What? What are you talking about? Calmac pass for me. And he was injured most of the game. Listen, I'm not too worried about fans being disappointed today, because a lot of fans, they go online and they be reactionary, and that's why I like doing these lives about an hour or a couple of hours later, because you can think about. I mean, it's seeing that image of and seeing the video of that man crying, breaking down. He's one of us, and to burst into tears on the pitch and apologise to Brendan. He's came through the ranks at Celtic, and he's not missed many good times. Don't know, he's lived through it, and this will be a hard one for Callum to take. And this will be I've been saying it for days, it's a massive summer for Celtic Football Club. I've been saying for weeks that players will leave. Quite a few of the first team will leave. I've also been talking about the ones that were confirmed today by Sky, the 5 players that have already been told that they can leave the club. And I think that it's going to be a summer where we're going to have to bring in about 8 players just to steady the ship, just to make the squad better. Chilpil, we're just used to winning, it's difficult to accept. No, Chilpil is not difficult to accept. It's difficult to accept that we played so bad. So bad. That's the difficult bit. The getting beat isn't the hard bit. The getting beat isn't the worst bit. Do you know, you can accept getting beat by a better team, but playing so bad in a final, when so much was at stake, Kasper Toblerone fingers and Rubik's coupons. Kaiser, did you go back to Celtic Park? Did anybody go back to Celtic Park? Terrible penalty for Kalmark, but that's. I don't think the. I don't think that the penalty was the issue. I don't think that the penalties were the issue. And for me, penalties is a lottery, and it's not the be all and end all losing at penalties. The fact is that we played so bad in the second half, terrible, absolutely terrible. But then I said the first 15 minutes of this game will tell you how we're going to play today. And Liam Scales gets the ball and he takes 4 or 5 touches, and you're like, oh, here we go. That's the kind of mood they're in. Nobody's wanting the ball. They're taking 4 or 5 touches, slowed the pace right down. Straight away, there's no one touch pass. There's no fast moving football. You know, we got our finger into gear later on in the game. It was too late by then. Jeffrey Sloop hits a rocket off the bar. If that goes in, Arne Engels, he hits the post. Another day that would have went in. We just didn't have the bench. I said that the bench was not good enough. The bench was nowhere near good enough. How could anybody get excited about that bench today? There was nobody there to change the game. James Forrest could have, but he got injured. But that's having to rely on him. Sinisalo starts next season, Baz, says Paul. Well, he's not, because Kasper Schmeichel's going to be there. And Brendan Rodgers will stick with Kasper Schmeichel. He's just given him a brand new deal for another year. And I think that's the most disappointing part of it. Sinisalo didn't do a lot wrong. And to get dropped for this game today, for me, was the wrong thing to do. Some of the players are not good enough, said Paddy Burns. I'm glad you said it, Paddy, because I've been saying it as well, and I've been saying that people are saying that I'm slating the players and slating the club. I'm not slating the club. Engels is a waste of space. Do you know what I feel sorry for Callum McGregor? Callum McGregor has came through Celtic with a level of player at his side he's had a level of midfield player that is way above the standard that we currently have. Now that Callum McGregor is the elder statesman in the team and the captain, his performance levels, if you ask me, has actually came down to the standard of the players that are around him, and that's the difficult bit. Is Callum McGregor can't make these players be better. You know, Callum McGregor came through, and Bruni was amazing in midfield. When you're playing with somebody like Scott Brown in midfield, we've nobody like that. We've been saying this for a long time. The current team just doesn't have anyone like that. It's going to be a massive summer for Brendan Rodgers. I'm sure he'll go away and he'll think about what the hell just happened today. And I'm just watching that video of Callum McGregor again, and it is heartbreaking. But it shows you how much this club means to him. Let's see what some of the Jimmy Thielen, proud of Aberdeen, lift the Scottish Cup. Fair play to them. Tearful Callum McGregor says penalty missed in final defeat is the worst moment of his football career. The worst moment of his football career. And Brendan Rodgers has said that he's no complaints. Aberdeen obviously came with a game plan to sit in, and Rodgers admit disappointing at Celtic defeat, but reflects on a successful season. Celtic boss says that they weren't good enough as they lost to Aberdeen at Hampden. Brendan Rodgers admitted his disappointment. Celtic missed out on a treble with their penalty shootout to Aberdeen. I've got to say, the fucking 90 minutes was the worst 90 minutes of football that I've ever seen. It was worse than the Man United Spurs game. Clearly, we're very disappointed, said Brendan Rodgers after the game. We didn't play anywhere near the standard to play against Aberdeen, and congratulations to them. It's great for them. We can have no complaints, says Brendan Rodgers. We didn't do enough in the game. Celtic were hoping for a 9th domestic treble, a record-breaking treble, to add to the cup winners and the league, as well as progressing to the league knockout round stages in the Champions League. Yes, it has been a good season, but when you look at this game in isolation, Brendan Rodgers says, we didn't play our standard of levels. So that's a disappointment. We can't blame anyone else but ourselves. The bigger picture is we've won 2 out of 3 domestic trophies and progressed in Europe. Now's the time to go away with our families because we need them, and it's important to have this time to reflect. He's not signing a new deal, is he? After a few weeks, they will realise that, okay, they missed the chance to win 3 trophies, but they have been consistently good over the course of the season, says Brendan Rodgers. They'll come back remotivated, whoever comes back, and they'll renew that motivation in the summer. The manager had a word for captain Callum McGregor. He says, obviously visibly upset after failing to score his penalty, the shootout. He's a conscientious guy that's given so much to this club, says Brendan. He was disappointed that he didn't score. It was just reminded him that he's an incredible leader for this club. He's given so much all season. The guy is amazing. He'll come back after the summer even stronger. And you've got to remember, Callum McGregor, when Callum McGregor was injured throughout the season, when Callum McGregor was injured during the season, we noticed the downturn in the team. People saying, oh yeah, we need to get rid of Callum McGregor, we need to drop him. Well, when we dropped Callum McGregor, when Callum McGregor was out injured, do you know, we played crap. Anyway, I'm only staying on for half an hour tonight. Let's jump into some of the comments before we go. We missed Hatate so much today, creative midfield player we have. Well, we're going to miss him in the summer. We were poor guys, gutted. Demons Maida had his head turned. Yep, yeah, his head's well and truly turned. Felt worse for McStay. Lanky says, have the lost night troops, he's off. Chris Fraser says Celtic will be stronger next season. I hope so. Stephen Kelly says, we can't win them all. More hurt and hunger for next season. Will it give us more hunger and hurt? Kaiser says, honestly, why did Casper dive at a non-threatening cross and flap it into his own net. Paul Maguire, there's more than Kuhn's just a passenger. My God, Stephen Johnston, calm yourself. Stephen Johnston, what are you doing? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Stephen, you didn't need to do that, mate. Pints are on Baz. Stephen, you didn't. Thank you. Stephen has just given us £100 super chat. I don't know if him and Ian Aberdeen are on some kind of bet with each other or something, but refund, but you can't refund it, or you would. Thank you, Stephen. I'm so lucky to have such a fantastic community. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, Lindsay. Completely. Don't even think about it. There's a fiver in the post for me, but says Willie, man. Steve Johnson pissed. Oh, man. Onwards and upwards to the 56th title next season. Going into the Champions League qualifier. The upside of not securing another treble makes our league more credible and competitive. Now on to the transfer season. It was meant to be a tenner. Stephen Johnson just says, hail Baz, listen buddy, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have a clue what's going on. People are writing, thank you very much, and it's helping me. Stephen, God almighty, man, what you done? Oh, Jesus. Stephen, what makes it even more incredible is I know what you're going through. You're trying to make me look like Callum McGregor. I know what you're going through, mate, and man, I need a minute. Stephen Johnson, you are just unbelievable. Considering everything that you're going through. On a personal level. Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. Right, get your shit together, Baz. No, Stephen, for every comment you make, for every day you turn up, what a guy. And for going through what you're going through medically, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't say sorry, man. Can't mean, don't say sorry. Jesus. Man. Fuck's sake. Jesus, man. Right. Right. Calm yourself. Man up. Oh, Jesus. Tarmac fucking ball bags putting up the screen outside. Yeah, I know. That should never have been done. See, Baz, bring us all together. We thank you for that. Thank you, Lorna. It is. It's unbelievable. Just that was. I've never overcome the emotion like that. That was just unreal. And I think it was more because it's Stephen and he is going through a hell of a time personally. Flying Colin, let's enjoy tonight, folks. Fuck it. Next season, Baz, you've became 9 a.m. And late, here we go again. Anyway, it is the end of the season. Baz, I was fuming during the live, bro. I had to go for a walk around the corner, see iBox crumble. I thought it would spark a fight. Thank you for that, mate. Thank you for that. Tarmac says he'll not be any pods until next season. Well, where are you going? Because I will be around all summer. We never stop. I'm not even going to take a day off tomorrow, not even to contemplate it. I think that the only way to get over this is by talking about it, and I've got to turn up for this community because it's such an amazing community. Stephen Johnson, I'm fine, Baz, shut up. Unbelievable. Anyway, yes, going into the summer, we don't stop. There will be Celtic news all summer. There will be Celtic podcast from me every single day throughout the summer. Maybe not 2 or 3 a day. We'll wait and see. But there will be Celtic news all over the summer because it is a massive summer for Celtic. Unbelievably big summer. Brendan Rodgers will sit at home tonight and he'll be thinking, how do I make this squad better? He'll sit with the powers of be at Celtic and there will be an inquest. To say what went wrong, how did it go wrong, and what do we need to take Celtic Football Club to the next level. Because the level that we're playing at, although it's been a good season, just hasn't been good enough. God, I'm all choked up now. And that man, both they men, will want to make sure that we come back bigger and stronger than ever. And that's why we are Celtic. It's been a long bloody season. There's been some amount of football. There's been ups, there's been downs. There's been Chris Boyd meltdowns, there's been Sevco meltdowns, there's been fan hacks, there's been hackathons, there's been so much to give us so much joy throughout the season. It's been absolutely fantastic. And I tell you one thing, what a bloody community we've got here. It is unbelievable. Irish Celtic fan here, can't wait till the Champions League, till the champions come to Ireland, says Kevin. Yep, not too long now. And now that we've had a good rant, come back stronger and even better. Yes, we will. Houston, Texas, minus 17 at the Bigger Dome. 94 degrees in Texas, minus 17 at the Bigger Dome. It is that. Big shout out to Stephen Johnson. He's an absolute legend of a guy. He is. He turns up for this community every single day, and I thank him for that unbelievable kind super chat tonight. What a fucking year it's been. Yes, Kaiser, party in the town, partying with me in the town was a highlight. Kaiser, that was brilliant. I wish I'd got the hotel and just stayed now, because it's been the highlight of the year, really, hasn't it? Unbelievable season, unbelievable double winners, Champions League run. Could it get worse? Nah, not at all, could it? Anyway, hail, hail, kneecap. Free Palestine. Fuck the Huns. Fuck the police. We'll see you on the next one. Yes, the unrepentant Fenian Army. We are the people, the most successful club in Scotland. Still in shock, can't believe we lost to that Aberdeen team. Yeah, hail, hail the Celtics here, Vaz. Thank you for this channel, it's been brilliant. The channel isn't going away. It will be here all summer. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we can get to 22,000 before pre-season kicks off again. We're at 21,842. Thank you to everyone. To the whole 21,842, thank you, because I know it's just a number, but it is amazing. It is amazing, and what a bloody end to the season, eh? Got the black hat on as well. You always knew when I was going to rant when the black hat was on. Anyway, the black flags, they wave. Have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.